I just got back in from seeing Drive Away Dolls in the theater because I love torturing myself. Like, I knew from the trailer this wasn't for me, but Ethan Coen co-wrote and directed it, so I said, let's just do it. I knew that this was a streaming movie, but there's nothing else really in the theaters this weekend. I've seen just about everything else. So, against my better judgment, I went. Now, did I have a laugh and a kiki? Sure. This film stars Geraldine Viswanathan, Beanie Feldstein, Margaret Qualley, and it has some really hilarious cameos from the likes of Matt Damon and Pedro Pascal, Miley Cyrus, even Coleman Domingo. I don't want to leave him out. Like, their cameos were funny. So I did have a good laugh, but this was the epitome of a streaming movie. So there's that. This is an LGBTQ centered film. It is a period piece. It's dated right before the turn of the millennium, and it's just, listen, okay. So Margaret Qualley's character breaks up with Beanie Feldstein, and so she and her best friend, played by Geraldine Viswanathan, they go on a road trip. They're going to Florida, and they don't have a car. They really don't even have any money. The logistics of this film, the continuity of this film, like, it's all over the place, but okay. So they don't have any money. They don't have a car, and they've got to get to Florida to meet up with Geraldine's aunt, because that's where she's moving. And Beanie Feldstein's character, she's thrown out Margaret Qualley's character, and so now she has nowhere to stay, so she's just like roaming. And they decide to go on a road trip. They need to get a rental car though, because they don't have a ride, and so they go to this place where they can rent this car for free and drop it off at a destination, and someone else will pick it up from there. But they end up getting a car that has some sort of contraband in it. We don't know for the longest time what's in it, but they're in the wrong car and they're heading down to Florida, but they make some pit stops along the way. But turns out this is the wrong car. They didn't need to be in this car, and now some killers are after them because of what's in the trunk of this car. For the longest time, they don't know what's in it, and we don't know what's in it. And the big reveal is really supposed to be like a really big laugh. It is very funny. They take it really far. They don't hold up. Like, this is a very uncensored movie. And so for the longest time, I'm thinking, this is money. It is not money. I'm like, guns, money, something, and it's not. Anyway, so they're going on their trip. Now they have these and they're experimenting. I mean, it's crazy. This movie has some funny bits. I think you have to have that sick sense of, or dry sense of humor to get a lot of it, because it is very overt and provocative in places. And sometimes I felt like, because this is half of the Coen brothers, like, they write provocatively, and they bend the norms. And so I find Ethan Coen, of course, it's not some of his best work, but it was better in his hands than others. I think he did a decent enough job to keep it going. I still think this is a streaming movie. But what got me is the editing. The transitions from scene to scene, they don't just dissolve like back in the day, like in the 90s, it would have dissolved from scene to scene. But this one has like these very abrupt scene changes as the transition, as if it was a technique used just for the sake of using the technique. It does not move the story in any substantive way whatsoever. It's just abrupt. Like, it's like 70s. It's just really strange. It was really weird. It disrupted the flow, I think, of the film. I don't know. It's just a strange film. One minute it's like When Harry Met Sally. The next minute it's like Thelma and Louise. Like, when I tell you, this is literally all over the place. And then it gets overt and very graphic unnecessarily. There are some cringe moments, but they make light of it. So sometimes I thought it wanted to be provocative for just for the sake of being provocative, but it does. There are some funny moments, like the comedic timing works in the film, and the ridiculousness of it all. It was funny, and like I said, the cameos were funny. Would I recommend going to the theater to see? Surprisingly, I was trying to count, but I lost count. There were at least, I don't know, 15 people in the theater tonight seeing this, and there were some laughs where the laughs were meant to land. So there's that, but this is 100% a streaming movie. I don't know who's gonna pick this up first, but I would say wait until it is streaming, and then it just be a cute little key to throw on if there really is nothing pressing going on in your life at the time. At any rate, if you dare, Drive Away Dolls is in theaters this weekend.